coffee table, or inside Panera Bread, or wherever you like to go hang out and get your Java. It's going to be one at the kitchen table. These are issues, just like school levies. How many of you have watched a school levy where every bit of the money was spent trying to promote the passage of a school levy, only for it to fail by some 85%, like it did in Huber Heights, which was referenced here earlier tonight? Why is that? Because people finally get to the point where they do start to pay attention to the issues at hand. They start to talk to their neighbors and their friends. And I think that's what Issue 2, frankly, is going to be all about. It's going to be truly a grassroots effort of you to your neighbor to your friends. It's not going to be an effort that's going to get won or lost based on a 15-second commercial, I think as Dana said earlier tonight over the TV. Lastly, I'd just like to say this, because as I pointed out as we began, this is a tough issue, and it gets really caught up very quickly in the emotion of the moment because there are lives at stake. But frankly, there's 11 million lives at stake called Ohioans. And this is an issue that we've got to figure out what we're going to do with together as people, not as Democrats or Republicans, conservatives or liberals. No matter what your stripe or jersey you wear, the facts are we have a math problem. The facts are what do we do about that math problem. It is not a question of somehow finding a way to cut the salaries of the guy that lives next to you. It's not public versus private. It's the ability to give the local jurisdiction, the people that you vote into office on your city council in Canton, the mayoral race that I know is taking place and is hot right here, your local county commissioners, the power to deal with the contracts as they move forward. What State Issue 2 does is it creates a new framework for negotiation. It takes existing law that was created in 1983 and replaces it with a different set of laws of 2011. That's what State Issue 2 does. It's not a rights question, it's a set of laws. It's a reform package to a set of laws that were created in 83 and frankly have created a situation where we have an unsustainable math problem. I would just say this. You know, in America, we are watching, I think, with great interest, Greece. And we're watching it not so much because we care so much for their baklava, although I like that. I think we're watching it because there's an eerie sense of identification. There's an eerie sense of identification because at every level of government, whether it's the federal government with a $14 trillion deficit and a bunch of public officials who can't seem to find the money, or the state government that just had to close the $8 billion budget deficit, or these deficits that we heard about tonight that we don't hear about enough, about the combined local budget problem that we're facing across the state. In every situation, it's because of promises made without regard to the future, without regard to promises kept. And we've got to find a way to rein that in, because I've got news for you folks. We can't be the next Greece. And here's why. We might be able to get there financially, but there is no International Monetary Fund that's going to bail us out. And the reason for that is, one, they don't have the capacity. And two, I fear they don't even have the desire. Because America, by God's grace, is still the envy of the world. Because we have, for 235 years, provided a light through the liberty and freedom that was created on the concept of a government that was small, allowing you, the taxpayer, to work hard, succeed, and to fail, and to flourish in that effort. And I think that's what this really, ultimately, is about. It's a question of what will we do with our future? Will we return to the promise of those 235 years ago, or will we continue to drift towards this concept that government, we just need to keep feeding the beast because the beast somehow is going to take care of us. Eventually the beast will consume us. And that's the situation we're in today. Here's the great news. The great news is this is not an academic exercise. This isn't an exercise where we all get to wake up and roll out of bed tomorrow morning and say, you know what, let's try State Issue 2. It just might work. Let's try limited government and free markets and the ability to go out and make a living and succeed and fail on our own. And putting our children in schools where schools have the ability to promote teachers that do a great job and let those go that do a poor job. We don't have to guess whether that works. We know it works. There was a template set for us a long, long time ago, and it created the shining light on the hill. The light's dim, but we can increase the flame just a little bit on November 8th, and I hope you do that with us. I want you to give a round of applause for Matt, Dana, and Melanie. Thank you very much.
Thank everyone for coming tonight. I really appreciate your time. The packet that Melanie gave you, it's not the left saying it, it's not the right saying it, it's the law. look at it, tell your friends,